I'm in this job. It's paying the bills. I'm not really enjoying it. What do I do now? I don't want to seem like someone who's like jumping ship.
Yeah, kind of like the bait and switch.
Yes.
If you're ever in a situation where there's a bait and switch, I actually do recommend jumping ship as soon as possible. It's not going to hurt you, especially nowadays. People hop jobs constantly. And if you were there for just a couple months, you don't even have to put it on your resume. You totally can. Put it on your resume, and then in the interview, if they ask you about it, just tell them to be honest. Just be honest with them. Say, I went through the interview process. When I actually got in the role, it was entirely different than what it was advertised to me. And therefore, I had to leave because it wasn't an appropriate role for me. That's all you got to say. And so I recommend not hanging around for another day. Like getting out of there as soon as possible, have your next job lined up or whatever, your savings. But I would not recommend the fear of like jumping ship hold you back from like getting out of there. Life is short.
I'm glad you said that. A lot of people struggle with that. And I do work in scarcity trauma where it's like, okay, if you came from a position of scarcity or your parents had this philosophy that you should stay in a job, you shouldn't be unstable. It shouldn't look like you're jumping from one thing to the other. Fear will keep a lot of people in positions that will end up hurting them. Because like you said, if you stay there longer, and then people depend on you and then you leave, they're like, well, why didn't you leave before,
Scarcity is such a thing in career. And as we navigate our careers, well, I can't quit this job because what if, my next job isn't as good? And it's like, well, maybe what if it's better? I always love to say, what's the best that could happen? People think that it's just, we're so averse to losing things. And you just have to let that go. And that is a trauma that can be passed down through generations. So it's not something that you can necessarily switch off. It's something you just need to become aware of.